when it could be male or
Hey
female.
everybody, welcome to the Hot Seat on this Media Monday. I'm Ron Kloffenstein. Tonight we'll take you to last weekend's Oneida County Pride Festival. We're going to have some fun with comedian and producer JWatch. But first, we have two special guests in the studio today. One is our own Hot Seat Media Monday photojournalist and AI content producer, Jim Hale.
Yay.
Also joining us is Lorraine Krameyer. She's an artist and producer who's here to talk about International Fairy Day. Jim and Lorraine, welcome to the show. Lorraine,
Thank you.
let's start with you. You also brought another guest here for our radio audience. Can you tell us who's sitting next to you?
Okay, this is my inner child that I used to make fun of many years ago, and then all of a sudden I realized, you know what? I gotta make one. And so this is a doll.
How tall is the doll? Just for the size.
She's about 3.5 feet long. And
She's kind of stuffed, like it's
and
stuffed.
she's stuffed.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to have these dolls that people dressed like children and put them in the corner. It was creepy, but
yes,
What did they
kinda
fill
creepy.
those with? Sawdust?
it's like
The old days.
I don't know.
Probably porcelain at the time, you know.
Oh, well, that
No, I'm thinking
that seems like a
Yeah.
recipe to get broken.
But anyways,
So she
describe what she looks like.
I had done a drawing that cartoon drawing. I do drawings and cards, and my dad had loved it, and he said, "Gosh, it looks like you." So I took that drawing and I put it on this doll. I painted it on, so
The face.
I identify with her as being my inner child. So
Yeah.
so my hope is that when you come Saturday, if you don't know what an inner child is, you're going to find out. And if you're not totally comfortable participating in our dancing and crafts, you will be invited to just be our audience, because we like to have an audience. Not
So
everybody
on
has-
Saturday, you guys are celebrating International Fairy Day, which actually isn't until June 24th, but it's never too early to have a
Well,
party.
the library is very generous, and they book things solid. And
So what'll be going on Saturday at 11 a.m.?
I'm really excited because I have a couple of stories to talk about personal experiences with fairies, but I've got crafts to make a fairy crown, because in the first story you're going to hear about a fairy queen that I met who gave me a crown that represents the one true love. And she said, it's not in other people, it's in you first. And you will see a believing mirror. And then
What's a believing mirror?
well, that's any mirror you look in is whatever you're saying to yourself in that mirror is what you believe about yourself. And it's my hope that we all start looking in that mirror and saying, I love you. I love you. I really love myself more. And you guys have helped me, because you've believed in me. This is my, fourth time I've been on the show.
It is,
and
yes.
it takes a lot of chutzpah to be here. And I just want to acknowledge both of you, because you're building.
For you two as a guest. I mean, it's hard to be a guest on a show. It's scary, and
it's about believing in yourself. I mean, you might not be an artist, but I promote. You'll meet Mr. Figby in a fabulous video that Jim has done. He's going to present that.
That's her.
So if your inner child,
so
your inner child, for our radio audience here, can you see the picture or the doll?
So she is my storyteller name is
rainbow colors.
Yes,
what is her name?
My storyteller name is Lorraine, Queen of the Pukwudgies. That's the name I was given.
What's a Pukwudgie?
Well, Puck.
Oh, from Midsummer Night's
like
Dream, right?
Pan.
Pan.
So the word came from an old poem that represented Native American word for all the fairies, elves, gnomes. That was the word they used, Pukwudgies. Puck, or Pan, the Greek myth is that he was grieving his love. And he goes down by the stream, and he breaks off some reeds, and he makes a flute. And in his sorrow, and that's Figby's medicine, create something, dance if you're grieving, if you're angry, make art. His little pencil and his medicine, you'll meet him on Saturday. But the point with Pan, while he's grieving, he's making this longing and sad song, but it's beautiful. And he's feeling his feelings. He's not letting them be stuffed or blaming anybody, or it's moving that energy, and music will do that.
If your inner child is the doll, like with a rainbow colored dress, and she has a unicorn horn, and she's a lot of sparkly things, what do you believe about yourself that's represented by this doll?
I just want to finish the fact that he played the flute and drew with that love energy, and his expression to heal himself with music brought the fairies to him. And so that's Pan, that's the flute.
This is Pan. This is like Greek mythology, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a Pan flute available. I'm going to have musical
Instruments too, right?
instruments,
Because the kids can play.
tambourines and ribbons on a stick, and we're going to dance to some fairy music. But as far as her, it's really looking at that kid in you that you're really vulnerable, and how we hide and we think we've got to be an adult. And it's a safe place to come and kind of set your adult aside. And she's decked out like I would have dressed or loved to have dressed back in the 50s. Like a little rainbow girl with bunny slippers that I put on her for Easter, and she said, I don't take them off. And so it's talking to that inner kid and letting her have a voice and not letting her take over.
Okay.
Not rule them. She sits next to me. I drive the car now.
What have your experiences been like with fairies?
Okay, the first experience what seems to happen is they come when I'm sad, I'm grieving, I'm angry, and the first
you
time
see them.
You have the first
seen them.
time I saw them, I say I wasn't dreaming, I wasn't asleep, I was just sad. I went to my favorite tree up at the Root Glen, and I was sitting there. I had my juice, my blanket, my sketchbook, and I'm looking at these ferns at the base of this tree, and the ferns disappear. And these little women, they were naked, but they had an etheric material wrapped around them. They didn't go or anything. They didn't. But it freaked me out. It scared me.
Yeah, you saw them appear at the base of the tree.
The ferns disappeared, and these little women were there, holding hands, leaning back, pure beauty and just gorgeous. And I ran to the car, and I did a quick sketch. And this was close to 30 years ago. I didn't talk about it for a long time. And then I just realized lately, if I hadn't done that sketch, I don't think I would have believed it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like what I normally draw. I had been very depressed about my work. I had gone to Munson Williams, Syracuse University. I had my degrees. My work was boring and flat. All my friends were getting married and having babies, and I was stuck. And then that happened, and I said in the car, if you want me to continue to see you, come through my artwork. Mm-hmm. And then I couldn't hold the clay. I'm trying to make something, and it looks like Pan.
Yeah.
And then I'm drawing, and I'm drawing you, and the ears start to get pointy, and I'm like erasing, and they're like, no, I love fairies, I love elves, put elf ears on me. And that's what started happening.
So it took your work in a whole new direction.
And every time I put, I was like trying to be a serious artist.
Yeah.
But every time I've been in the summer show at Munson Williams for, I think it's the 18th year.
Uh-huh.
And the only time
you won last year, too.
Well, the only time I seem to win is when I surrender to the fairy theme. And the one that really pushed me over the edge was the outhouse.
Right.
It's a fairy outhouse.
That was
grown
last
men.
year,
No,
right?
that was 3 years ago.
That was 3 years
Grown men
She's
were
won
like
multiple awards.
crying with tears in his eyes, like looking at this thing, and I'm like, and my therapist says to me, "Those fairies outed you.
Yeah.
I've had this ego about, and that's why I love the C.S. Lewis quote. And I'm wondering if."
Why don't you read that, C.S. Lewis? Then we'll bring Jim into the conversation, talk about the multimedia new aspects to your work.
This is the author. Yeah, no, I'm
so this is C.S. Lewis. He was the author of the Chronicles of Narnia, of course, who we know. And Jim's going to read this for Jim Hale. He's our photojournalist and AI content producer, and he's also a co-producer on the event at the library.
When I was 10, recalled Lewis, I read fairy tales in secret and would have been shamed if I had been found doing so. Now that I am 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up. C.S. Lewis quoted in In Touch, November 2005.
Well, I love C.S. I'm a huge fan of the Chronicles of Narnia, and which are, I guess, being rebooted on Netflix too, which is really good news. I'm happy to hear. They actually only made the first 3 films with Disney and Fox, So, with Jim, I want to say a new wrinkle to Lorraine's work is the multimedia aspects, and you're a volunteer at the Dunham Public Library in Whitesboro, and you're assisting with this show. So what are some of the things that you're doing to add kind of like the technological magic to her performance?
Well, we've tried to take everything she's created over these years and bring it into another medium, animation.
Uh-huh.
And blowing my mind. Can I just say, blowing my mind. I swooned and almost passed out.
When you saw
he
his first work with
You were
AI.
there, and he
Yeah,
was just
right.
like, oh, by the way, I got to show you. And then recently showed me a short of seeing my fern fairies.
So he took your character and using artificial intelligence, he brought it to life through animation, right, Jim? Maybe
Yes.
you can tell us a bit about the process.
Well, I use ChatGPT. I've nicknamed my chatbot Jake, which is
Yeah.
easier to say.
We were going to interview Jake today on the air, but we decided we're going to do that down the road. I may actually interview my ChatGPT. We're not sure about that, but we kind of want to do a little bit more with that than have it as an extra thing. So, Jim, we're going to put the burden on you to explain the process.
Okay. So what we do is it's a collaborative process. Really, it's Lorraine, me, and my chatbot, the three of us. And I come up with the ideas. I don't know if a lot of people quite understand how it works, because I think they often go to these chatbots, they think, you press a button and you get an answer, which is true, but you don't really press a button and get the image you want or the video you want. You can't press a button and say, make me a new Superman movie.
It's a very layered
Go.
process. Yeah.
It's a very iterative
a lot more
process
detail, too.
that you have to refine. And I start with an idea, and in this case, I had some actual footage that I took of what Lorraine calls the grandfather pine.
No, Grand Fairy.
Grand Fairy pine.
Yes.
Oh, how did I get that mixed up?
Whoa.
It's a very ancient pine tree that's at
Root Glen.
Root Glen, right here in Clinton. And I have some video of that. And then what I did is I used my chatbot to come up with a small animation, and I used Lorraine's actual drawings right after she saw the fairies for the first time. She ran to the car, she told you she got her sketchbook. I used that to create what I'm hoping to show people is what she saw.
Wow.
And it's pretty accurate. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
He's
It's
really
photorealistic,
into.
and so when she saw it, I knew that it was aligned with what she had experienced.
What is the amount of time involved in this? Because some people think if you use AI or ChatGPT, like you do it in a second and you get this like masterful work without any effort, and that's really not the truth.
That's true. You definitely get something. It's not masterful.
Right.
I would say probably in the more complex creations, it's probably about 30 minutes per second of finished work.
Yeah.
And this one is about 13 seconds.
Which is about the standard time to make a finished work of a production. It's usually about an hour per minute of finished work. So that's about aligned with that.
Seems fairly consistent.
And probably, I mean, I've seen your work. I think there's been times it takes you much longer than a half hour per minute. So.
Well, a lot of the time is spent brainstorming. Like
Right.
I'll spend hours sometimes
In discussion with ChatGPT.
in discussion, brainstorming ideas, what works. We're also up against the limitations of the tools,
Yeah.
because they certainly can't do everything. And
Right.
I have a lot of ideas that just can't be realized yet. So
Yeah.
I'm often forced to pivot, shift direction, and I always end up with something. I know when it feels right.
But wasn't Figby the first?
Yes, we haven't talked about
So the
Figby
first
yet,
thing you
but
did was you animated her character, Mr. Fig.
this was 2 years ago.
Yeah, who she has here with us. So
No,
Lorraine-
that's not Figby.
Oh.
I'm not bringing him because you got to come Saturday to meet him.
Oh, okay.
But-
well, maybe you could tell us
But what
like who
yeah.
Mr. Figby is and what it was like the first time you saw him animated before we go to break.
When I first went to Jim, I went because he does tech
At the library,
volunteers.
he's a volunteer at the
And I went
library.
with my request to see if he could help me figure out how to record Figby's voice better. And we sat there and he said
using
it was,
a tape recorder.
and he said it was the first time he only got one person and nobody else came. And so I had him all to myself for the 2 hours. And then I pulled out Figby and he just looked at me like, we're going to help you. I didn't know
Yeah.
who we
First
were.
of all,
Right.
Mr. Figby was in a suitcase. It looked like it had been around the world and to
suitcase.
some other realms
It had.
and
Yeah.
back again.
Yeah.
And she opened it up, and there's this doll
Yeah.
inside, which was
Puppet. kind
I'm
of
sorry.
kind of a puppet, but it is a doll. It doesn't have a mouth that moves
No,
like a
but
puppet.
it was intricate, elaborate,
right.
fantastical. It captured my
It's what I
imagination
saw.
immediately.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm in the right place today.
Yeah.
He said, I've been waiting for an artist who I could resonate with their work. Well, Figgy came
Well,
through. Okay, I know you.
We're going to hear more about that when we come back, about the process of working together, who Mr. Figby is, and who you brought with you today. There's a green character here. We got to hear about that. Maybe hear a little bit of the pan flute there.
Yeah.
But so I want to tell you before we go that the Dunham Public Library is going to celebrate International Fairy Day with Lorraine Krameyer and friends from the Fairy Realm this Saturday, June 13th, 11 a.m. Admission is free. Also, For the Good will hold a Juneteenth celebration on Friday, June 19th at the North Utica Senior Center. Keynote speaker will be Dr. Jan Diamichis, who will speak on the origins of blackness and resistance in the Mohawk Valley. There will be a soul food banquet and tickets are $50. For more information, go to uticaphoenix.net, and I will be again serving as chaperone at the Jervis Public Library's Rainbow Prom. That takes place this Friday, June 12th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's for kids ages 14 to 20. When we come back, photojournalist and AI content producer Jim Hale and I will take you to this year's Oneida County Pride Festival. We'll also have more with Lorraine Krameyer, and later in the show we'll find out what comedian JWatch is working on. I'm Ron Klopfenstein. You're in the hot seat on a Media Monday. I'll have more after the break. Hey everyone, welcome back to the hot seat on this Media Monday. I'm Ron Klopfenstein. The Oneida County Pride Festival brought the community together this weekend at the Clinton Arena. This is Ron Klopfenstein. Meet me in the hot seat every Monday at 5 p.m. for Hot Seat Media Mondays, 95.5 FM, The Heat. I'm Ron Klopfenstein at the Clinton Arena, where the Oneida County Pride Alliance is holding their Pride Festival 2026, a celebration of diversity, inclusion, and equality. Ace Morielli is the director of the Oneida County Pride Alliance. They're the organizers of today's Oneida County Pride Festival. So Ace, how's it going?
It's going really well. We're seeing so many people come out and support us today.
Yeah. Do you see that overall there is support locally for the LGBTQ community?
Yes, as an organization, we've been very fortunate of all the support that we have. I know in people's everyday lives, they unfortunately do experience bigotry, but today we're seeing all of our allies come out and support us to show that we are welcome here.
I'm with Sean. So Sean, what's going on here today?
The Oneida County Pride Festival. I just got here with my friends. We've been looking around. There's a lot of nice craft and homemade items and some good food, entertainment.
So why is it good to have Pride festivals? Why is it important to us to have these kinds of things?
It's important, similar to voting, just making your voice known and letting people know everyone's welcome in the area and just having a good time in a positive way.
I spoke to a man named DJ who is wearing a rainbow flag shirt. What does this mean to you?
I mean, the colors of the rainbow. Anytime I see the colors of the rainbow, whether it be hanging outside of a store, hanging outside of a coffee shop, establishment, that tells me that it's safe.
Yeah.
So the rainbow means safety to me. And of course, on the religious side, it's God's promise. And God's promise was for everybody. Not just for Christians, not just for evangelicals, but for all gay people as well.
Yeah. There were representatives from several different faith communities at the Pride Festival. I spoke to Stephanie Markham from the Unitarian Universalist Church.
And one of our core beliefs is the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And what we say every Sunday at our service is no matter who you are, no matter who you love, whatever faiths you have known, if any, you are welcome at our church. And we truly believe that. So we're happy to welcome our LGBTQ plus friends, We are there every week. We have an LGBTQ plus inclusion team. So we try to make our presence known in our community. And we love to support each other because for our church, it's all about community. We want to be there for each other and we want to be there for our fellow humans.
Thanks, Doug. Yeah, listen to my show. It's called Hot Seat Media Monday on 95.5 FM The Heat. We're going to have a big story on the Pride Festival here. So, Monday, 5 p.m., Hot Seat Media Monday, 95.5 FM The Heat.
We're going to bring on some heat right now.
I'm with Michael Brown, who is running for Oneida County Clerk. Is it especially challenging to be an openly gay candidate for public office?
You know, when I first started running for public office years ago, it was surprising to people, I think, that I wasn't about to not be out.
Right.
Because I've been out my whole life.
Yeah.
I've been out since I was 18, so it's like, no, I'm not going back in just because I'm running for office.
Right.
So no, it's like anything else. It's a matter of being visible, being out there, just being myself, and making, because what I want to do is we want so badly to get young people to understand that it doesn't matter who they are, what their background is, we need them involved in the process.
Right.
We absolutely, we can't move forward unless we've got young people involved.
Right.
And if we can show through what we do, so much the better.
Why is it important to do that? You know, both of us, we grew up at a time where, I don't know what your situation was like, but I had absolutely no role models whatsoever because there's no one out visible. You know, and we lived in a very oppressive, hateful time too.
Yeah.
You know, so like, why is it so important that young people do have role models like both of us who are openly gay and aren't like going to back down?
Because it makes it easier for them. It makes it. I know when I was young, if I had older people that said, Mike, it's okay.
Right.
You know?
Yes. Right.
Then, you know,
that's what you should have done. Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And you're yourself. You're authentic. You are living your best life.
Right.
And that's the way you do it. You don't hide in the shadows.
Right. I spoke to Mandy Drake. She's a candidate for New York State Senate. We talked about some of the legislative issues facing the LGBTQ community.
And you know, as it pertains to Pride, I mean, we're systematically losing access to clinics that service vulnerable folks in the LGBTQ community, including LGBTQ youth, which, you know, is incredibly important to continue to do work for and through the community. As a whole, there are organizations, some of the ones I spoke to today, organizations like Planned Parenthood who do take measures to protect the queer community, but I think that Albany needs to take measures to protect the queer community, but protect everybody as it pertains to healthcare. And, you know, in order to help New Yorkers from the fallout of the recklessness at the national level, especially as it pertains to the ability to just go to the doctor, New York needs to step up and fund the Healthcare Act.
Do you think that your experiences as a woman, especially as a candidate, give you some sort of insight or maybe some more sensitivity into what it's like to be LGBTQ, to be online?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we've talked before too about your experiences, like, you know, dealing with sexism and chauvinism and men on the job.
Absolutely.
So I think there's like a commonality between like women, all minorities, really. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. Well, I part of the reason why I see so much solidarity with the queer community is because I'm queer myself. I'm bisexual. So, you know, I resonate and identify with all of that, and I'm very open about it.
Yeah.
And as a woman, I do feel that there is, in every arena, a degree of sexism and misogyny that takes place. You know, even as a candidate, I will go places and they'll talk to whatever man I'm standing next to before addressing me, even though I'm the candidate. And it can be really frustrating. And I think that's why we need female voices, especially young female voices now more than ever. And young queer female voices, because people like me do not see themselves in representation in Albany or Washington.
Good.
What's the vibe here? What feedback have you gotten from attendees?
People are really happy. They think this is a great event. They like all the activities going on, all different stuff they could do. I've just been seeing a lot of smiles and happy people today.
What is it that you think we want people to know about our community?
I want people to know that we're just normal people. We want to just live our lives as we are and be accepted for that. We just want the normal people things, having a job, housing, family. And today is the day to celebrate us and all the accomplishments made while also fighting for those things.
Today's event was all about equality, inclusion, community, and reminding everybody that everybody belongs. At the Oneida County Pride Festival, I'm Ron Kloffenstein for 95.5 FM, The Heat. We'll have that story online tonight on my YouTube channel, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram accounts. I'll also post the complete videos, interviews with Mandy, I'm blanking on her name, or Mandy Drake, who's running for New York State for the Senate, and also Michael Brown, who's running for county clerk. On Saturday, the Dunham Public Library will celebrate International Fairy Day with Lorraine Krameyer and all of her friends from the fairy realm. It's at 11 a.m. and admission is free. Lorraine, the star producer of the event, is here with us in the studio, along with our Hot Seat Media Monday photojournalist and AI content producer, Jim Hale. Welcome back to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell me about what you got going on.
I wanted to mention Valerie Brewer, who is going to be assisting us. She's an incredible artist.
Amazing talent. So
works
dedicated
at the
to
library,
the library. Yeah.
And she's going to be
She's a master
coming,
of escape rooms.
Yeah, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah.
She's going to be assisting us, and she is going to help us do these amazing magical, invisible magical paintings of fairies that blew my mind. And with all the paints that I've used through my life, this thing.
You never used invisible paint before, huh?
No. And it makes them appear, so I want that as backup from the story that I'm telling about how I saw them to actually give you an experience. That's how I felt when I watched this painting emerge, and all you're going to do is just swipe this magic liquid over this blank piece of paper.
Wow.
And they appear. So we left off talking about Mr. Figby.
Yeah,
and I
Mr.
wanted
Figby?
to just say how he first came to me. I was very grief-stricken.
He's your main character, right?
Yeah, and I
kind
was
of your muse as well, I would say.
extremely, extremely sad one night. They call it the Black Night of the Soul. Hopefully nobody, I don't ever have to have that again. And I was sad, and I heard this name, and I'm a practice journaling. Always have paper and pencil with me, because you think you're going to remember that name in the morning. No, I don't think so.
Right.
Mr. Figby, Hummingbird, Humberg, Willowbee, Wallaby, Honeybee, Bow. So I turn the light on.
Nobody could remember that in the morning.
Right?
I already forgot.
And I write it down, and as I'm writing it down, I went from deep despair to pure joy. And I didn't know that was possible. So I turn the light off, and I go back into my grief, and then I see, and normally when I draw on the page, and it sort of appears on the page. I saw him full body in a picture in my head. I gotta turn the light on again. You know, why? I didn't associate with the fact that when I did the name, I felt good.
Yeah.
So we're disjointed in what brings us joy, and that's his mission. His medicine is get your drama and your trauma on the page or the stage, and out of your head, out of your body, out of your relationships. And that's what has been happening. And when I drew his picture, I've got over 300, probably 500 of these Pukwudgie characters that come when I'm sad, and usually during the night when I can't sleep. But his mission is to bring joy. He's not just a puppet. He's pure love and light, and he holds up his little medicine bottle. You'll see that he wears with a little pencil in it.
What do you think folklore does for a culture?
Oh my God.
You know, because the idea of these characters, magical beings, the fairies, things in nature that kind of take a human form, they've been such an important part of every culture. And it seems like in modern times, of course, we kind of drum that out of our lives and our souls. What does it do for us to lose all that?
I think you're dead. I think I want not just kids, but parents. Get in the woods. Go walk. Get outside. Initially, before I saw the fairies, my Mohawk Indian friend, Ed Benedict, if you're out there, he came to the tree and he said, this is a wisdom tree. The Indians would not have built a home around it. The energy around this tree is really, the branches are gigantic. It's huge. And he said,
this is something, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is something that we visit each time for our shows. We touch, we take a few pieces of bark.
Yeah.
And it's a transformative experience, I think.
So working with
It's
Lorraine,
calming.
I think, has really changed you as well.
Oh, it has changed me
It's been-
tremendously.
Yeah. In what ways?
Well, I'll let Lorraine finish her story about the pine tree.
Yeah, we almost have to go, so be sure to tell us about your event on Saturday.
I just wanted to say, people say, do you believe in fairies? I don't know if I believe in fairies. For me, it doesn't matter because they believed in me. They showed up and they brought so much joy because I said that little prayer to them, let them come through my work. And so
And
I'm
it's
so
changed
grateful.
your life in so many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
blossomed. You blossomed.
Yeah, love or fear, that's his message. Which one are you going to pick? And it's moment to moment. I'm getting better at it. I could do a lot better, but
She's sort of his messenger in a way. She's spreading this
Like channeling it.
yeah,
this positive vibe of get your drama and your trauma out of your head and onto the paper and the stage, right?
or dance or
What a
make
good
music,
thing
and it
to
could,
do.
it could be
Right.
cooking. It doesn't have to be art.
And
Right, just being on the stage,
and it applies
right.
to everyone,
Yeah.
not just children.
Yeah.
Which
We're talking today with artist Lorraine Kreimeyer and our own photojournalist and AI content producer Jem Hale. The Dunham Public Library will celebrate International Fairy Day with Lorraine and friends from the fairy realm this Saturday, June 13th at 11 a.m. Admission is free. For the Good will hold a Juneteenth celebration on Friday, June 19th at the North Utica Senior Center. The keynote speaker is going to be Dr. Jan Diamichis, who will speak on the origins of blackness and resistance in the Mohawk Valley. There will be a soul food banquet. Tickets are $50. For information, go to uticaphoenix.net. Also want to let you know I'll be serving as chaperone at the Jervis Public Library's Rainbow Prom again this year. That takes place June 12th, Friday, June 12th, this Friday, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Kids ages 14 to 20. When we come back, we'll be joined by comedian and producer JWatch. I'm Ron Klopfenstein. You're in the hot seat on a Medium Monday. I'll have more after the break. Hey everyone, welcome back to the hot seat on this Medium Monday. I'm Ron Klopfenstein. Comedian and producer JWatch is here in the studio now. You kind of defy, there's really no way to introduce you. You're a poet, you're a writer, comedian, philosopher. You brought someone with you. His name is Jose, also known as King Joker. Welcome to the show. So what are you guys doing?
Hey, Ron, good to see you guys again. Everybody in the studio, how are you guys?
In 95.5 FM land, our listeners out there.
The Phoenix.
Facebook Live audience there, YouTube. It is. It's very hot. We have both air conditioners on today. We can barely keep up with the heat.
Thank God.
I know. So you're wearing a shirt that says "Chilling with Rick." I was on the Chilling with Rick podcast last night. You see it on my Facebook page, Chilling with Rick. I'm going to co-host the next Chilling. You've been on the show too?
Of course.
Oh my gosh! You got there before me, of course.
What's funny is me and Rick were supposed to get together 3 years ago after I did my first comedy show, right?
Oh my gosh!
And so I was trying to get on since then, and then everything just wasn't. It just couldn't.
Right.
And then finally, he was like, "Hey, let's try again the third year," and it worked out. And actually, it was going to work out again. But I said, "You know what? I'm not letting the weather, not letting anything stop me.
Nothing's gonna stop me."
And it was bad, Ron.
The day you went out there.
The roads were like blacked out. The snow.
Oh my gosh!
I couldn't see the road.
Yeah.
We were going slow. I had the kids in the back. We took our time to get there, but when we got there, the weather stopped.
That's how I am too.
Upstate New York. Got him.
That's how I am too. I was telling Rick, the day that we went to the turning zone to do a starting exit 33, the weather was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad that I actually missed the three-way access. I had to go to a whole other one and come back, but I still got there. I still got the story.
Yeah.
You know, there till 1 a.m. So you do what you got to do, right? For showbiz.
Oh, the best part about it, afterwards we were starving. And he said there's no food open. But at the corner, I was driving past, I'm boom, 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 boom.
Gosh,
and then I peripheral, right?
Yeah.
I saw it said, we're open. So I backed it up. Just to make sure, like, you know, I'm not saying. And I went in, and they were like, so I sent my girl in instead.
Yeah.
You know, send the dame in, right? There's all guys in there.
Yeah.
Sent her in there, and she came out with 2 large pieces.
Oh my
3
gosh.
bags of food.
Yeah.
I was like, that's my girl.
Good for
That's
her.
the system.
I know, right?
I paid $20 for like 100 of food.
Oh my
No
gosh.
cap. So we went home.
She should be your agent.
Yes.
You know? She's a negotiator there.
It was
Good for her.
It was a good time.
So who did you bring?
This is one of my newest artists.
Okay.
His name is King Joker.
Hey, King Joker.
Jose No Cuervo.
Jose Rivera. That's not that hard to say. You know? So what are you guys working on?
So we're in a bi-coastal event.
Wow.
Called The Body of Art.
Uh-huh.
And it's a tattoo exhibition.
Oh my gosh, cool. So what is that like?
It will be airing for the you know how they do like the Women's March and in different places like that. So it'll be in Cumberland, Maryland.
Yeah.
It'll be in Vegas and I believe Virginia and then here.
So to show off tattoos?
Yep. Yes.
Oh my gosh, neat.
And so each entry, so to give you an example, so you send me a picture that you want, like, is that right?
Of your tattoo. Yeah.
But it's not just about the tattoo, it's about the person.
Right.
So they can choose to hide the identity if they want. They can make playful photos.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
The whole photo, because these are for the dads.
Yeah.
For Father's Day.
Oh.
You know how fathers are kind of slighted sometimes.
Yeah,
so
right.
we were thinking like if we can put dads into coloring books and other people and regular folk people in coloring books, then children would be more likely to draw their parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Kids drawing their parents.
So it's kind of like modeling.
Yeah.
Which is really great. I love that.
The event is a photo shoot.
Yeah. Oh wow. So what tattoo are you going to be showing? I see you have one with cards and dice, and which one are you going to? Is that the one you're going to show off?
This one's one of the ones I'm showing.
So why? What does that represent? And can you actually describe it for the radio so people can hear you, see what it in their minds?
And Taino, which is also Puerto Rican Indians.
Oh, I'd never heard of that before.
Yes.
Cool.
So. This is a tattoo that represents.
So is that that's Puerto Rican flag?
Yep, the Puerto Rican flag.
And what else? It looks like
that's the lighthouse. On an island.
Like in Puerto Rico or around the area? Yep. And I see also there's a flower at the top. What is that flower?
That's a hibiscus.
Hibiscus. I was wondering that. I was gonna try to be fancy, but I thought maybe I'm not. Maybe I have the wrong flower, but it's a hibiscus, and it's like red. It's a reddish flower there, and then there's a symbol next to it. Like
these are Taino symbols. So this is the coqui, this is el sol, and
so it's kind of like Native American influence, or not Native American, but Native Puerto Rican, indigenous influence too.
Exactly. Indigenous gods that they believed in and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. So why did you get that tattoo?
Because I was learning more about the culture. I was learning more about kind of where I came from, stuff like that. I'm into culture.
Yeah.
I love, Chinese culture, Japanese culture, anytime.
And that's your culture. You're Puerto Rican, right?
Yes.
So how do you feel when you're showing off your tattoo there?
I guess prideful. I mean,
I was gonna say,
to be Puerto Rican. I'm happy to be Hispanic.
Right. What a good way to display it.
Yep.
To let people know that too with your body.
Great. I mean, we dance, we cook. A little bit of everything. I'm not a comedy.
Right. Oh, I love that. So Jay, do you have a tattoo you're going to be showing off to, or are you the producer?
It's my tattoo right here.
Oh, I'm
I was going to say, it's like it's hard not to see that.
So, as well.
Oh, you do it too?
Yes, I've done this tattoo.
Oh, so you've done some of your own too?
Yes,
wow.
Yeah.
But you didn't do that
8
one.
years old did this tattoo.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really talented for 8 years old too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also an artist. I mean.
So was this? So how did you find out about this event he's going to do?
Oh boy, so I've known Jay for a minute. I have known Jay for a minute, and if his memory sometimes doesn't remember me sometimes.
Right.
No, I ran into him. I was working as a cook at the Hub. And my brother knew him. We kind of just, it was just passing by, kind of saying hello type thing.
Right.
I moved to Florida. I ended up coming back. I'm a very introvert. I like being home. I like to be relaxed and everything.
Lots of comedians are, I think. Performers are. You're a comedian too, right?
No.
Oh, I thought the King Joker was. Oh, you're sing too.
Yes,
but a lot of performers really are introverts. But and in fact, I think of myself as that too. But being in media or being on stage is a way to get out of that, right?
Yes. Yeah. Jay has showed me that.
Right.
And we were just talking. It was like watching The Ring and him just pulling me in.
Right. That's what a good producer does, right? Yep.
But I came back and I had started doing some videos of me singing and stuff like that. But when we came down, I heard that he needed a cook down there to help with the homeless over there. So I went down there, and after I did all that, he talked to me and told me that there was an open mic. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll try it out. And I did 3-4 in a row with him, and next thing you know, he's like, come hang out with me, and ended up being on a show, Sauce to the City.
That's awesome. That's what I was talking about, your game show there. Yeah.
She hosts that show, and she's amazing. But, and it's kind of gone from there. Dealing with him, it's like NASA.
He's doing so much stuff. Yeah,
it's just going, and you don't even know. Nobody gave a countdown or anything.
Right. Right. I love it. So, JWatch, what's your tattoo all about there? Can you describe it for the audience? Because I really can't. Other than I see all the colors in that,
Well, see, I'm a bit of a remember I'm a creator, right? So I figure I can't really go through the whole tattoo route like that.
Right.
I don't have a tattoo, not real ones.
I was gonna say, so is that real?
It's real fake, but
okay, good.
But the artwork is real.
It's really cool.
I designed the artwork,
right?
And it's on my sweater that I have on this sleeve. So the idea is that when I take off the jacket, I still have it on me.
So what is it then? Just markers or?
No, it's a sleeve.
It's a sleeve.
What's a sleeve?
It's an arm sleeve.
So how basketball players wear these sleeves?
I see.
Instead of a boring black and white, I'll just say, hey, I'll just have a tattoo sleeve.
I see. That's a good idea.
And I can change it anytime I want. So if I don't want to be this, I can just take it off. You can't do that. I can just put it right off. Oh, I'm done with that.
I'm proud of my art,
Oh, right. I was going to say, for me, because I have OCD, the only way I could possibly have a tattoo would have to be a fake one like that. Because I would be obsessed over thinking, no, I didn't really want that, It'll drive me nuts. You're lucky you don't have OCD.
My body would be covered, but I know what I want. So when I have the time, or I find an artist that I really want to get it done with, then I'll get it done at that
You're lucky you're non-OCD. So for me to even wear a non-black shirt, it's that takes some thought too. Even to wear it for a few hours, So to be permanently wear something that's non-black, that would be tough,
Ron, you are my first customer. Thank you.
But I love this idea for this show. So tell us more about this show you're doing, this online thing.
So it'll be online, but it'll be in person. So the show will be on the 21st of June. At the Hub Eatery, 7 to 10. The first half of the first hour and a half is dedicated to fathers. And it's called Daddy's Matter too.
Oh, I love that.
And there will be performances and games during that time.
Right.
And then after that is the Body of Art exhibition. So people will be there. You can get tattoos done. You can get photos of your
I want to
tattoos
come and do a story on this. This is amazing.
Now you have to.
Yeah, wow. This is cool, yeah.
So and then
it's nice to see men like represented too. You know, I think that's really nice to see like men like represented. You know, because a lot of things don't like have male stuff. You know, and it's like this is great to like
We've surveyed. You know, we scoured out here to see what will be like, and everyone's very interested because like it's stories.
I love this,
and
it's got a nice
knows
AI flyer. I got let's do some AI work here. I like that too. You know, so with your flyer, you know, that's really good. So body of our photo shoot pickup party at the hub. I don't have my glasses, so I see June 21st, 7 to 10. So I see that much of it. So. Is there an admission cost for this too?
So the first 10 are free. The entry after that will be 10.
Yeah, which is reasonable. I mean,
And then there's 50 spots available for the photo shoots.
Yeah.
So they got to get in quick.
That's a really like $10 to be in a photo shoot too. It's kind of amazing. You know, it's like not too much.
So all of those pictures will go into the next volume, which is the body of our coloring book. So this is for the next one, the next one for the next one.
I love that. So the pictures you're going to take are going to be made into a coloring book.
Yeah.
So like you'll take it and like do that thing with AI where it takes out like it makes it like just the outlines kind of that people can color it.
Yeah.
I love that idea. So like what will people like how will people get one of these books once they're produced?
I have them. There'll be a link to it during the show. There'll be a barcode.
Oh, nice.
You can just scan and they'll send you to the link.
Yeah. So has anyone else ever done this idea before? I've never heard of this kind of event. So
not in this like there's been obviously tattoo exhibitions all over it, but not like this. So
not locally, I want to think, right?
No, not locally at all. No.
Yeah,
but it's more of a, like a West Coast.
Yeah, right. It seems like that.
But I wanted to like bring it.
How cool that you're bringing it here to Utica too.
Like,
yeah.
You know, like he's an artist. I'm an artist. You know, like, and I know that plenty of times I've seen a girl that looked like. Woo, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I get in there? Like, what do I say to break the ice?
Right.
And if she got tattooed, I'm like,
it's a conversation
starter, right?
Exactly.
So,
right.
Hey, nice tats. Oh, thank you. What does that mean? You know,
right.
You're in.
Yep.
Why not? Like,
that's a good point. I want to ask you this, Jose. Whenever I talk to like a musician, especially ones that perform with an instrument that's like kind of like more like novel. Like I've spoken to people who do ukulele and stuff. I ask them like, what does the what can they express with a ukulele that they can't express, like say, with a guitar? So I want to ask you, what can you express with a tattoo that you couldn't otherwise express in a different medium?
So on that ukulele stuff, I play the saxophone.
You do, so yeah.
So
what can you express with the sax you can't express with other instruments?
I don't know. I mean, for me, my emotion is my music. I'm not very good at expressing myself without crashing out.
But you do it through the sax.
Through my music.
Right.
If I'm playing something, you know how I'm feeling. If I'm playing upbeat music, I am in a good mood, you know. If I'm playing other music like sad, maybe, you know,
it's what you're feeling.
More thinking or, you know, lower feeling.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, I feel music is easier for me to express myself.
What can you say with a tattoo? What are you saying, like with your tattoo, the Puerto Rican? What are you saying?
I'm proud. You know, my daughter's proud of me. She put her little heart with a Puerto Rican flag, and the koi fish, you know, there's supposed to be a water scene, but going through, you know, struggles and stuff like that, you know, it's just my life.
So in some ways, your tattoos are kind of your biography.
Yeah.
Which is really a cool thing because, you know, sometimes people forget that like tattoo is it's an art, you know.
Yeah.
And when you put it on your body, it's part of like your art. Just say like, this is who I am. I gotta ask you, what are the cards? What do they represent?
The cards and everything.
I love that one. I'm fascinated with that.
The drama faces.
That's right. That's what it is too. It's drama faces, happy, sad face,
dice and cards.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm all in about everything. You know, everything's a gamble, but I'm always all in.
I was gonna say, life is a gamble. You know, and life is also a performance. Like with the
you're gonna
faces.
be happy. There's gonna be sad times. Like
Jay, you're all about the performance. What will people express with tattoos? What do you think people express with tattoos? What's performative about that?
Performative?
Yeah. I mean, tattoos are all about like people seeing them.
Yeah.
It's all about what people see. So like, what's the message going to be on the 21st? What's your message?
More, I really want to bring back the art of storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like even in hip hop, you know, and our leaders,
yeah,
you know, they all have stories, and stories is what makes us and shapes us even as an infant. Like the more stories you hear is the more input you have about what's now you're learning that's coming into your brain because you don't know anything.
Right.
So whatever story that you're given is a story that you're going to have. And that's what starts to form you and make
who you are,
right.
what you think
like,
the world is.
People
and stuff.
aren't born racist, but if you are in a situation with your family that's feeding you certain situations that happen, that's what is the evidence of it.
Yep.
You know, so it's what we feed ourselves.
Right.
That's gonna really shape us. And storytelling through your artwork, whether the pain, happiness, fear, all those emotions are valid.
Right.
We have to celebrate each other's literal pain that it took to get it. That's story told.
That's a good point. Right.
I fall asleep.
But I like the idea that tattoos are kind of like a double work of art and double story because they kind of express the artist that made them, but they also definitely express the person who chose that and chose to display that on themselves.
I have a quote.
What's your quote? We got to wrap it up. Tell me your quote.
Words don't hurt unless they're carved.
Ah, that's a powerful quote. Yeah. So one more time, tell us about the event.
June 21st, 7 to 10, 2026 at the Hub Eater. Reach out to Frank for holding us down again. He helped us out with the Mother's Day celebration, and it was great. It was our body of art living tattoo exhibition, pickup party, and coloring book. Activities and games. There will be a Daddy's celebration in the first half, dedicated to all dads. The theme is called Daddies Matter Too. The second part will be the photo shoot, where people will take photos of your artwork, and those will be submitted into the coloring book for the next series. At the same time, if you want to get your tattoos tatted, you can also come down there and get some tattoos and get a discount.
Yeah.
And food and drink will be there, obviously, and the bar's open, so it'll be on this Sunday, the best day.
Sounds like a great event, and I will be there because that's 2 Sundays away. But next Sunday, of course, I'll be in Oneida to co-host Chilling with Rick.
Yeah.
So look for that, Chilling with Rick. Jose, thanks for being here. It was great to meet you. We're going to have to have you back to talk a little bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've been talking to JWatch, Lorraine, and Jose, and also Jim Hale. We're going to have this episode online Wednesday night at uticaphoenix.net/Media Monday. Our audio engineer is Jonathan Brooks. He's DJ J-Easy. He's up next with the Easy Ride Home. Jim Hale records the show for YouTube and podcasts, and he's our photojournalist and AI content producer. Lily Christopher is our associate producer. Nabil Khan is our entertainment correspondent, and I'm Ron Kloffenstein. I'll be back next week with another Hot Seat Media Monday. Okay, so this is Ron Kloffenstein. Meet me in the Hot Seat every Monday at 5 p.m. for Hot Seat Media Mondays on 95.5 FM, The Heat.